Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make these really bright, sort of dreamy water shaders that I've been using recently. So here's an example of what that looks like, just so you can see it in a render that I've done recently. So yeah, if your water shaders look kind of like this, I'll show you how to get it to look more dreamy and vibrant like this right here in this video. So let's just turn this off and start from scratch. So I'm just going to add a cube in here. I'm just in this empty, or not empty, just sort of this demo scene right here. This is an environment I finished recently. It's just a spotlight going through this little thing to create some shadows, and then just kind of some stone stuff at the bottom. So I want to add some water, so I'll just start with a cube. So we'll just get that in there. I'll scale this up to cover the general area that we're going to be filling with water. So something like that. Just make sure it's deep enough that it kind of goes like through the floor a little bit like that, and then you're good to go. So for the shader, I'll just make a new material here. So I'm going to set the roughness to 0, and I'm going to set the transmission all the way to 1. So that's kind of just a general glass sort of shader here. I'll set the IOR, the index of refraction, to 1.33. You don't need to do that, but that's the actual IOR of water, so you might want to do that. And then I'm going to take the new Gabor texture that was added in Blender 4.3, I think, and I'm going to run that through a bump node. So just plug that value or output of the Gabor texture into the height of the bump, and then plug the normal output of that into the normal input of that principled shader there. Okay, so I'm going to increase the size of the ripples there, just turning up the scale of the Gabor texture. Somewhere around there is going to be good, maybe a little more. So that's nice. And I'll turn down the strength of this. It doesn't need to be that high. Somewhere around there is going to be good. Just keep it subtle. Now I'm going to take a transparent node. So just take the transparent BSDF, and I'm going to take a mix shader, and I'm going to mix these two things together. So I'm actually going to put the transparent into the top socket and the principled into the bottom, and it's already kind of letting more light through if you just see what the principled looks like by itself. Mixing the transparent is going to let the light pass through a lot more easily and efficiently, but it's not really doing what we want. We're kind of getting a doubling up because it's like only halfway mixed. What you want to do here is take this node, the light path node, and I'm going to plug the top one is camera ray. Take that and plug that into the mix factor of this here. So I don't actually know the technical reason exactly why this works. This is a trick I learned from Ian Hubert, and he explained it. I can't really explain it as well as he did, but it doesn't really matter. All you need to know is that this is going to make this work and just let the light pass through the water in a way that looks natural and lets a lot more light actually go through the surface instead of just looking all muddy like this does, you know? So really nice difference there. Now what you can do at this stage is actually take the transparent color. By default, this is set at 1, and that seems like as high as it'll go. But if you actually click on this field here, you can actually enter a value above 1. So if I do like 2, that's going to mean that any light that passes through this surface is actually going to get multiplied by 2. And so this is not a realistic shader because, you know, that's kind of impossible. Water's never going to make the light, you know, 2 times amplified or anything like that. That's just not how light works, but it does look nice. And we can tint this like kind of blue or something. I'll worry about the color in a minute after I get the rest of this set up, but I really like this look of making it really bright when the light passes through it. Makes it look very surreal and kind of dreamy, so that's cool. Let's take a volume scatter now, or sorry, rather a principled volume. And I'm going to plug that into the same shader, just the volume output right here. And I'll decrease the density to like 0.2 or 0.3 or something. Somewhere around there. And I'll make the color of this something that's a bit more, you know, blue or something. Teal or blue, something like that. And then I might tint the transparent material kind of blue or something as well. So that's the kind of setup I had for my render. And you can go in here, make this whatever you want. The higher you make this, it's going to just look too extreme. If you do like super high, right, it's going to be like way too much. But, you know, somewhere around 2 or 3 is going to be nice, I think. So I'll put it there. And then you can also tint the color of the principled shader. So if I want to make this, you know, something a bit warmer or blue or whatever, you can do whatever you want here, and you can get some really interesting results if you tint that a little bit of something interesting. Just keep these colors kind of desaturated, and that'll give you the most natural looking result. So from there, you can just kind of adjust this, make the depth as much as you want, So from here, you can just save this cube to your asset browser and then drag and drop it in anytime you want to bring it into a new project if you want. So if you want to see how I've made this full environment here, that is going to be posted on the channel soon. So just either subscribe or you can check the link in the description. I'll post it there when it comes out. So if it's a few days after I record this, you can just go to the description, find it there. It's just going to be on my YouTube channel. So other than that, thanks for watching and see ya.